Welcome back. Hello. I hope you're good. I hope all is well. Today we are going through my summer TBR to be read. All the books I want to read this summer. Realistically, I might not read them all because I might read completely different things, but this is the plan so far. Most of them are related to summer in some kind of way. Summer vibes, summer feels, and then there's a couple kind of random ones that I just really wanted to read, and this is the time. I have more time in summer, as many people, to read. So this year, I really want to utilize that and max out on some books. I try not to make it too big list because I don't want to depress myself if I end up only reading 3 or 4. Because at the end of the day, I also want to enjoy other parts of summer than reading. Believe it or not, I have other hobbies and things to look forward to. But this is definitely one of the main things I'm excited about for this summer. So let's get straight into it. Starting with my current read right now, I'm reading The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. Very good. This is some Russian classic. I'm nearly done. I think I might finish today or tomorrow probably. The story takes place in the summer in Moscow, where the devil and his friends, companions, comes to the city and wreak havoc on more or less anyone. It's a surrealist novel, so fun and kind of whimsical and a bit absurdist. And I'll read you the blurb because I think it'll give you a good notion of it. Afterwards, when it was frankly too late, descriptions were issued of the man. Expensive gray suit, gray beret, one green eye and the other black. He arrives in Moscow one hot summer afternoon with various alarming accomplices, including a demonic, fast-talking black cat. When he leaves, the asylums are full and the forces of law and order are in disarray. Only the master, a man devoted to truth, and Margarita, the woman he loves, can resist the devil's onslaught. Brilliant and blackly comic, The Master and Margarita was repressed by Stalin's authorities and only published after the author's death. Very good, would recommend. This is my second Russian novel. I read White Nights, did not like White Nights, really am liking this though. So, good start to my summer readings. Then, Swimming in the Dark by Tomas Jadrowski, which was recommended by one of you guys. Thank you so much. I take any recommendations. If you think I would like a book, a movie, a film, which is the same thing as a movie, a series, anything, please let me know and I'll most probably do my very best to get my hands on it. And so this was recommended to me a bit as the Polish version of Call Me by Your Name. However, apparently better. Lots of critics seem to like this one much better than Call Me by Your Name. So let me read you the blurb because I haven't read it yet, so I don't really know entirely what it's about. Poland 1980. Shy, anxious Ludwig has been sent along with the rest of his university class to an agricultural camp. Here he meets Janus, and together they spend a dreamlike summer falling in love. But with summer over, the two are sent back to Warsaw. Confronted by scrutiny, intolerance, and corruption of life under the party, Ludwig and Janus must decide how they will survive, and in their different choices, they find themselves torn apart. It sounds devastating and beautiful, and I'm super excited to read it. I also, this year, have read a lot more stories, books that take place in the East. Super interesting to read about stories, even if they are politically unrelated, but that take place under different political parties. I'm talking communism, I'm talking the aftermath of communism. Super interesting. Not really something I was familiar with initially. I also have a Czech friend whose family thus lived under that kind of a regime. And it's been so interesting to talk to her about it, learn more from, obviously she didn't live it firsthand because she's young, but she's heard firsthand stories. She's living in the byproduct also of these regimes and has a completely different view and perspective on it than anyone else I know because I was brought up in the West, surrounded by mostly Westerners. Really interesting, really interesting. Would recommend. I think one of the main benefits of reading and fiction is to be able to transpose ourselves in different lives, in different scenarios, be they real or no. And this is such a good opportunity to read novels by authors from all over the globe, learn completely different realities, different political parties, different climates, environments, cultures, without needing to have been there or to go there necessarily. I think that's one of the most beautiful things you can do. And I strongly encourage all of you to do your best to read from kind of across the world. I'm definitely not the best yet, and I know a lot of my authors are from one part of the world, but I'm slowly trying to move a bit, trying to shift that and read from different perspectives more and more. Next is Sabahattin Ali, Madonna in a Fur Coat, which I'm so excited to read. This is from a Turkish author, so same thing goes kind of it's not that I used to purposefully only buy books from certain kind of authors. I just never really paid attention, and I think this year I've been a lot more cautious about this and trying to read from different cultures. To It's also interesting the way styles shift and how the culture impacts literature. So that's a little like bracket, but anyway, I've been wanting to read this for the longest time. Everyone I know and whose book taste I love, who's read this, speaks of it so highly, and I think this is probably my next read. It goes. The magical novel about a Turkish man who falls in love with an artist in 1920s Berlin recreates a vanished era and dramatizes a doomed relationship with verve, depth, and poignancy. The result is a miniature masterpiece. A miniature masterpiece. Please. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. From what I heard, he was like a yearning final boss. So we love to see it. We love to see it. Next, I want to reread Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I read this last summer on a long trip in Italy, and it was stunning. This is one of my favorite books. Beautifully written, deep, touching, heartfelt, and yeah, easy to read. I think this might become a modern classic if it's not already considered one. Gorgeous. The blurb goes, David, a young American in 1950s Paris, is waiting for his fiancée to return from vacation in Spain. But when he meets Giovanni, a handsome Italian barman, the two men are drawn into an intense affair. After 3 months, David's fiancée returns, and denying who he is, he rejects Giovanni for a safe future as a married man. It is a decision that will bring tragedy. Beautiful. And the reason I want to reread this is, first of all, because I absolutely loved it, and I've never reread a book, or very, very rarely, just because there's so many books I want to read that sometimes it can feel a bit like a waste of time, or instead of rereading a book, I could be broadening my horizons, reading new ones, But I think this is a perfect book to reread because it is so short, so I won't really have that feeling so much, and yet it's so powerful, and I think that a whole year later with new experiences, new visions, new understandings, I might read it differently, and I'm really, really excited for that. The next book I don't have on me yet. I hope I will buy it during one of my trips. If Beale Street Could Talk, also by James Baldwin. Another thing I've been wanting to do this year is read more of the same authors, really know their work, get to know them as an author, as an artist. So James Baldwin is the first on this list. That's not really entirely true. I've read a couple of books of the same authors before, but I want to, when I find a book, for instance, like this one, which really strikes me, marks me, touches me deeply, I want to read more of the author, because obviously if they have the power to do it once, they must probably have the power to do this twice. I realize that this makes me prone to disappointment, because I read my new favorite book, The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Kundera, which was stunning, fabulous, impactful, touching, amazing, deeply rewarding. And then I read Immortality by Kundera, which was really good. Really, really good, but uncomparable, in my opinion. So I know that this makes you more prone to disappointment, but it builds somewhat of a relationship with the author, and it makes the practice of reading more intimate and the books you choose more intentional. And If Beale Street Could Talk seems to be a powerful, important novel to read, so it is on my list as well. In this honest and stunning novel, James Baldwin has given America a moving story of love in the face of injustice. Told through the eyes of Tish, a 19-year-old girl in love with Fonny, a young sculptor who is the father of her child, Baldwin's story mixes the sweet and the sad. Tish and Fonny have pledged to get married, but Fonny is falsely accused of a terrible crime and imprisoned. Their family set out to clear his name, and as they face an uncertain future, the young lovers experience a kaleidoscope of emotion. Affection, despair, and hope. In a love story that evokes the blues, where passion and sadness are inevitably intertwined, Baldwin has created two characters so alive and profoundly realized that they are unforgettably ingrained in American psyche. Please, I really want to read it. I really want to read it. So that's definitely high up on my list as well. Next, Beloved by Toni Morrison. My sister got this for Christmas and she loved it and she gave it to me, and I think it's my turn to love it. It goes. Unable to forget the unspeakable horrors that took place there, she is haunted by the violent specter of her dead child, the daughter who died nameless and whose tombstone is etched with a single word: beloved. A tale of brutality, horror, and above all, love at any cost. Beloved is Toni Morrison's enduring masterpiece. I realize this doesn't really give summer vibes, but sadness is part of it. I don't know. I don't know how to justify it. I think this is an important read, and I chose this summer to read it. But you will be happy to know that my last novel screams summer, if not anything else. And that is Sex and Rage by the amazing Eve Babbitt. Let me tell you one thing. I love Eve Babbitt. I love Eve Babbitt. I read Slow Days, Fast Company, and I loved it. And Sex and Rage is next on my list. She's just the it girl of Hollywood in the 1970s. She's infused with sun and laughter and sex, and she has this energy that is really, really tangible through every flip of a page. And Sex and Rage is next. Jacaranda is a dreamy young woman moving between the planets of Los Angeles and New York City. She's a beach bum, a part-time painter of surfboards, sun-kissed and beautiful. Jacaranda has an on-again, off-again relationship with a married man and glitters among the city's pretty creatures, listlessly drinking white ladies with any number of tycoons, unattached and unworried in the pleasure and the pleasurable mania of California. Yet she lacks a purpose, so at 28, jobless, she moves to New York to start a new life and career, eager to make it big in New York City. Sex and Rage delights in a sensuous, dreamlike narrative and spontaneous embrace of fate, work, and of a certain meeting of chances. Sex and Rage further solidifies Eve Babbitt's place as a singularly important voice in Los Angeles literature, haunting, alluring, and alive. And that screams summer. And I also love this intersection between California and New York, East and West, within America, obviously. As a European, they seem like two opposite poles, but of the same rod, kind of. I don't know if you know what I mean. They feel, I've been to neither. Those are the two cities I would want to travel to in the States eventually. They both seem really alive, but in very different ways. And I think this novel, knowing Eve Babbitt, will probably be knowing Eve Babbitt. Having read Eve Babbitt before, I think this novel will impersonate it in such a stunning way, and I'm so excited. Anyway, my Goodreads is down below, so you can actually check up on me and my reading and see if I followed along with the plan. And yeah, like, follow, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you want more book content or anything else, and I hope to see you really soon.